I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone.
Factz Media Global. You live with the KLC. It's live at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Don't miss out. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the FMG. Make sure you hit the notifications. Because I do a lot of freelance shows and I take them right down afterwards because I stay out of the way of the copyright hawks. Already seen the games they play. But hopefully things get better down the line. Always, I always try to stay mindful of better days. Fourth, 1968. We lost a great one. And we must continue. I can't even say continue because we see nothing has changed since 1968 to now. So I guess you say rekindle the dim flame. Excuse me, I'm snacking. One of the many rewards that you have when you run your own platform. I'm snacking. But it's all good. I had an appointment Right after the midday mix-up, I had to shoot to the lawyer. Then I was going to sit down with this councilman in my area, but I decided my lawyer informed me to go a whole different route. You know, because you challenging the system. You gotta be lawyered up. So now I gotta go see another lawyer, and then I gotta go see the state representative in my area, and we're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna try to see if we can get rid of these foul temp agencies in my area. I know they exist in where you live too. They're all over. They're one of the main. They're one of the main influences behind the exploitation of our people. And that's right now, that's what I'm fighting against. So, if you knew better, you do better. And that's why I decided to make that the topic of this show. We have to get our peoples out of the sauce. You know, we got to get them out of the sauce that they lost in. You know, the pastors, the ministers, the preachers, the bishops, you name it, they have let you down. I'm sorry to be the one to have to let you know and be able to have to break this bad news to you. They have let you down. You know why they have let you down? Because in the last 50 years, you know what they have done in the last 50 years? Since 1968, you know what your pastor, your preacher, your minister, your bishop in your community, the one that gets up on the pulpit, gets up on that pulpit once a week. It does the enemy's dirty work. You know, you get up in there, you rejoice, you praise, you sing in tongue, you run up and down the aisles, you a deacon, you a usher, whatever the case may be. Only thing that you're doing is getting all of your congregation rallied up for another week of exploitation. You know, everybody gets up in there, hey, praise him, yeah, hey, what's going on, Sister Shirley? Alrighty. But then the very next day, which will be Monday, can't none of that save you. Can't none of that save you, because why? They took all of that out of the warehouses that you worked in. The supermarkets, the Walmarts, the BJ. Like, they take all it, so they're not concerned about none of that. So by the time Friday get back around, you tired again. You sick. You can't. You trying to figure out the whole week. You trying to figure out where's my Lord and Savior. Where is my God? You ready to let it go? Saturday, you might go have yourself a good time and sip a little something. Sunday morning, you feel bad, you run up in the congregation, run up in the church, you hear the sermon, you know, you turn to the text, you interact, then you get that spirit. You know, you get that spirit, you gotta get that spirit back in you now, because you know Monday you gotta get back to work now. So let me give you that spirit. Come on up here. You know, walk up to the pulpit, let me put my hands, let me lay hands. Let me lay these hands on your pocket. Let me lay these hands on you. And then next thing you know, on Monday you back at it again. Praise the Lord. Praise God. But here we go. Friday, you back beat up. You back off the slave plantation. You got 2 days off. That's if you got 2 days off. We see how they working us now. These immigrants, they don't care. They work 7 days. Now they want you to work 7 days. These immigrants work 24 hours. They want you to work 24 hours. You know, they get them in here to change all of these rules and regulations. They get them in here and they change affirmative action, equal opportunity, all these different things. And now all of a sudden, once this all said and done, come on, y'all gotta go. Y'all did your job. Y'all did what y'all had to do. Y'all changed the laws. Y'all got everything changed for us. Now we gonna get y'all up out of here. Because it wasn't about y'all. Y'all straight. Y'all have a nation. Y'all have a nation to call your own. Y'all are a people. We recognize y'all as a people. And we send y'all some money just for y'all troubles. But we had a purpose. We needed y'all for a purpose. Y'all fulfilled your purpose. Now, y'all gotta go ahead and holler at the deportation. If you knew better, you would do better. You know, in your community, it's rat infested, straight cat infested. Why? Isn't it budgets? Isn't it budgets set aside certain monies and all of that set aside every year for development? This is America that we live in. Why is it only in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that is looking like a war zone? Look at the history. Every time we populate an area, they evacuate. And then we prove them right every time, because once they evacuate, the property value in that area, partially due to redlining and all of those other things, no investment comes into the community, and the community just goes down and down and down. We not investing in our own community. Soon as the enemy come in and cause some confusion in our communities, what do? Same police officers that ran down on Freddie Gray, they didn't live in Mosier Homes. They didn't live in McCullough Homes. They didn't live in those projects. They lived somewhere way out. Well, when that situation went down, it was a good thing that everybody came together for a common goal, but they tore up their whole community. They tore up their own community. And you got to think about it. After they tore up their own community, they didn't even put themselves in position. That was the perfect time right there to put yourself in position to come and open up your own businesses and start up your own thing in your community. Why? Because y'all rioted. Y'all done burnt up all the stores, broke up everything. So okay, now start looking into you trying to buy the buildings y'all just burnt, just the shell or whatever the case may be. Start boycotting your community, shutting these businesses down, sending them back home. Because that's where they're going. You think when you shut these businesses down, they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna just move and continue to live in the next they go back home. When there's no money here for them, they go back home. Why? Because they already got a network. They got a whole lot of different people in different areas and different states and different communities. They making that money for them 4 chicken wings and fries, and guess where it's going? Express. Straight back to China, straight back to Arabia, wherever, the Middle East, Korea, they making that money over here. They sending it back. They not going up in the malls. They not in Foot Locker. When the last time you seen some Chinese people and just like you see black people in the mall in Foot Locker when the Jordans come out? And you see them in line. You see the Arabs and the Spanish people. Yeah, you might have a sprinkle of Hispanics. They not the ones that's out here making these moves. Brother just started in my community. Brother just took it, worked up with Hispanic brother. He just started his own tow truck. It's not a tow truck company. It's just a tow truck parked in front of his house right now. So they still, I mean, you could say it's a tow truck company. Just because he don't have an office. Hey, if somebody need a tow, we can take care of it. So come on, let's be real. He can still go to an auto mechanics place or to a repo company and get work. You can get some contracts. Look, here go the list. These are 17 cars. They up for repo. We need them. Want to see what you can do. You know, it's the contracts out there. He take his little beater. It ain't the best of tow truck. You know what I'm saying? But it'll get the job done. I'm proud of the brother. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how we do. We begin to make templates. We begin to have templates and blueprints for everything. So as soon as somebody call or request information, we have it right there. We send them a packet. Look, what you trying to do? You trying to open up a small convenience store in your neighborhood? Okay, send them a packet. This is what you're gonna have to do. The rules might be a little different where you currently at in a different state. It might be a little bit different, but not too much. So you can go ahead and follow this blueprint and get yourself started. If you have any more questions, any more concerns, contact us. Feel free. You know how it feels to have actually some assets and some finances and have it in your mind what you want to do, but just don't have the ways to go about it. That's the problem that we're having right now. It's not the fact that the people want to move. It's not like our brothers and sisters don't understand that change needs to happen now. That's not the problem. You know what the problem is? The problem is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge, people. When you have, I heard somebody, they was asking a question, and they was saying, if we decide to do this, and that, how many of y'all are gonna be with me? How many of y'all are gonna support it? How many? You cannot go like that to a race of people that is lost. They don't know what direction they're going in. And what you are doing, you are trying to ask this race of people for directions when for the last 550 plus years, they haven't had any direction. So how can you ask somebody for directions that don't know where they're going? You can't ask somebody from Texas how to get around in Minnesota. Unless they lived in Minnesota, they would never be able to tell you anything about Minnesota. So it's just because of the lack of knowledge. There's people sitting around, we spend the most money. We have the highest spending power in America. Only nine nations are ahead of us in wealth. We're not a nation. All we're doing is allowing all of these other nations to sustain. All of these other nations, even the United States of America, is in debt. So, I mean, come on, I'm from the streets. Put it like this: If I was China, we talking streets now. Talking about out there on the block is hot. So I'm on the block. I'm China. I'm the plug. The United States got a strip down the street. They done bit off a little bit more than they can chew. If it was like that, the United States would have been had their melon crack. Because if you talk about business and how this money's moving, so how do we get out of this hole? How do we ever get out of holes? Taxing the people. Why it's no more job security? If you knew better, you would do better. Why is they telling you that you work for the temp agency for 1 year or whatever contract, 6 months contract? After 6 months, we're gonna evaluate, and if you do everything you're supposed to do, they got point systems. You're not supposed to miss any. There's certain amount of days. You be early, don't get no write ups. You do everything that you're supposed to do. Then it's temp to hire. Temp to hire. After you get finished your contract, you will be hired on. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. You go in there, you do everything you're supposed to do. The 6 months temp to hire contract turns into a year. A year turns into 18 months. 18 months turns into 24 months. Is it right? Is it right? Do you think it's by design or is it by mistake? Where did these temp agencies come from? Somebody look at manpower and say, look, this is big money to be made right here. Everything is all of the stars in the solar system is lined up correctly for us to just rape the American working class people. And now what do you see? You see all these temp agencies popping up out of the blue. You can right now you probably can open up a temp agency in 1 week. Get some paperwork, get some phones, get an office space. Next thing you know, you're a temp agency. All you gotta do is get a contract, get one of these jobs willing to negotiate with you because they need some workers. So you're gonna say, okay, well, what's your highest you bid? So I want $17 an hour for my workers. I want $18 an hour for my workers. And then you say, okay, I won this contract. I got $17, $18 an hour for each of my workers. How am I gonna work this? Okay, I'm gonna give them $11.50, and I'm gonna take the $6.50. So for every worker, you're gonna make $6.50 off of their labor an hour. Each worker. So you do the math. This is six each hour. So now they got you in there for 10, 12 hours. What is the take home? If you got when you going into work and you look at that sign-in sheet for all of those temp workers, count the list. Count the list on how many people signed in for that shift, that first shift. You're gonna see 80, 90, maybe 100 and something people for that one shift. So now you think about it. Do the math. They getting $6.50 for each hour for each person. And when you come up for the number for that one day, and then you continue to do your math. You get the number for the one person. How much is the temp agency making for the one day? The 8-hour, 12-hour, 10-hour shift. And then you figure it out for the one day, then you figure it out for the week, then you figure out how much they make a month, then you break it down to a year, then you see how much the temp agency, the little small office, the rude people that when you go in there, they want to act like, you beneath them. And then you ask yourself, what's going on? Why is my community still looking the way that it's looking? When 75% of the working class in your community is working for these companies such as Aerotech, Randstad, you name it. Only one I think that's really that really plays the fairest is the one that's been around the longest, and that's the one that everybody probably is familiar with. Is who? Manpower. Is it manpower? Ain't that manpower is the one you know what I'm saying? It's like it's no real whole lot of contracts or anything. You just show up and you work. If you don't want to come the next day, you just don't come the next day. As soon as you get off of work, they add up your hours, they cut you a check. Or it's labor ready. One of them, labor ready, labor. I think it's labor ready if I'm not mistaken. But all those other companies, and that's the phase that I'm at right now. That's what I'm fighting right now. And it's not all about me. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about me. If it was all about me, I already told them in my lawsuit. They asked me, "What do you want? Do you want to settle or do you want a judgment?" See, a lot of our people we like to settle because we don't have the judgment, and when you don't have the judgment, you know what that allows? That allows for it to happen to somebody else down the line. You know, everybody they jump on that settlement and then they run with it. They never have a chance to get a judgment on the record, on the file, that they can then be able to push the initiative and say, look, here's the judgment. The courts ruled in my favor that I was treated wrongly. So if I was treated wrongly and you are the same like I am, then it's retroactive. It's the same. We need to be able to create a union. We need to be able to create a union. A temporary workers union. You know, that's what we need. And we have to force these temp agencies and these big corporations to honor what they say. You know, if they make contracts, they need to honor the contract. If they say that you work at this company and you do A, B, and C, after the time is up, we're gonna consider you for being hired on. And when it comes time to be considered to be hired on, and you know you got 100%, you ain't do nothing that you wasn't supposed to do. You did everything correct. Then you're supposed to be hired on. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why? Because it's a contract. It's a contract, but they're not honoring the contracts. They're not honoring the contracts. That's why we have no job security. In some of these states, they're no fault states. You know what a no fault state is? No fault state means that they can fire you at any given time. They don't have to give you an excuse. By law, they don't have to give you an excuse. Look it up. No fault states. So if you mix a no fault state, if it's a no fault state, then it should not have no temporary employment agencies in that state. Because if so, then do you see the monopoly? Can you see the monopoly right there? It's a monopoly. How can you have temporary employment agencies operating in a no fault state? Who is that in favor for? Who's in favor in that situation? That's what I'm. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is my fight because I know better. That's why I know I'm gonna do better because I know better. But on the same token, I'm not gonna be a one trick pony, and be on a one track mission and have a one track mind. It's bigger than me. Sooner or later, my son is gonna have to work. He's gonna have to work. I pray, and with everything in me, I do what I have to do every day. So eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to just pass a business or a enterprise or a legacy down. So you know, they're saying they could just pass your business down off to your children, but we're not living in the perfect world, and right now it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And nobody is doing anything. Nobody is stepping up. Why? Because they're afraid of them dogs, the German shepherds, the hoses, and the jail time. The you know, put your hands where my eyes can see. Where's your ID? Boom, 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 boom. You know, all of this is playing a factor where the enemy got y'all shaking in y'all boots. Whole time the enemy is an invisible bully because we know there's a whole lot of things taking place, a whole lot of injustice taking place. Well, who can point the finger? Who can point the finger? We're not talking about no Meta Necha. We're not talking about no Kemet. We're not talking about no ancient Egypt. We're not talking about no what's that pseudo like. Come on, we ain't talking about none of that. We talking about the people right now that got their boot on your neck. This is what I want you to tell me about them. Let me who are they? Because it's not Pharaoh and the people that crossed the Red Sea. It's not them. There's nobody running around here with chariots. There's nobody running around here writing on any walls. But it's still going on. So point me to the direction to where the people at with the boots on necks right now. And that's what y'all need to do. That's what y'all need to do. Keep listening to all of these, you know, pro-black and like just doesn't make any sense. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Because why? Because these same people that's screaming all of that, they happen to have PayPal accounts, they happen to have GoFundMe's, they happen to have monetized YouTube channels, they happen to be working with the enemy real well, real fine. Everything seems to be going fine in those aspects. Like I could work with them, I could work with the enemy, and all of them aspects I can work with the enemy. But behind the scenes, when I get in front of my people, I'm gonna put on this costume and this facade, and lead them to believe that I don't contribute to any of the enemy's advancements against my people. No, I don't. I would not. But then when you peel back the layers, you figure out, oh, that was a lie. It's like Jerry Springer. You know, the results that came in. The test results are in. We looked at your statements of how you were pro-black and you had intentions on killing all of the whiteys. But then we looked into your financial accounts and we see you had numerous accounts with Comcast, Bank of America. We brought your house over at Fannie Mae. So all that pro-black stuff that you was talking about, it was determined that was a lie. That was a lie. Come on. Then you got these sisters. These sisters, oh man, I love my sisters. But they faking it till they make it too. Because Jerry came in with they results, and their results came back and they said, you say you pro-black, and you're all about kill this and kill that and the upliftment of your people, but we did some research and we found out that you buy stamps regularly from the addicts in your neighborhood. Just a couple weeks ago, you went over to the one addict's house and brought her 50-inch TV from her for $150. We also see right here that you was at the flea market buying bootleg Chinaman clothes. So due to the outcome of the investigation, we determined that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. Yeah. Come on, I see you. I see you. Come on, you gotta fix your face. You gotta fix your face because there's more to this than just yapping off at the mouth. There's a little bit more to this than that. Now you see. I can see clearly. I can see clearly now. You know, the rain is gone. So I can see clearly. And I'm all right. If you knew better, you'd do better. Where else do you want me to go? Where else do you want me to go? I'm going to keep touching. Oh, wait. All right. Let me touch on. We done went to the church. We done covered the religion. We covered the job, the job industries. How there's no job security. That's taken away. Master Academy is coming soon. We're bringing the trades back to our communities. We have to start teaching our kids trades again, because we have a plan and we're trying to put the plan into effect. So when you're trying to put a plan into effect, you have to go over all of the pros and cons. All of the pros and cons. Situation that we're in right now didn't happen overnight. And once you understand that it didn't happen overnight, that it was strategized, it was planned, plotted, and executed, I mean, let's keep it real. Very well. Very well. Let's give the enemy a hand. Yeah, let's give the enemy a hand, because you can't tell nobody what it is that they did. Or who was it that did it? So, what is that telling me? As far as your knowledge, as far as your intelligence. I don't care about what college you went to. I don't care how many beads you got on. I don't care how blingy your dashiki is, or how the gold tone. I don't care about none of that. And guess what? Guess who else don't care? The enemy don't care neither. When the enemy get the shooting that Glock, or hanging you up in that tree, or whatever the case you get yourself found up in, none of that you talking about is gonna save your ass. You think they're gonna be sitting there asking you questions about your history that they stole from you, that they took from you, that just vanished from before your eyes? You think they're gonna be sitting there having questions and answers, having a debate? No, they don't want to hear none of that. You're going right up in the tree. So why you focus on it right now, here and now? You worrying about something that your enemy, your opponent, is not worried about at all. When the last YouTube channel that you seen that I'm talking about the ancient history of the Caucasus Mountains, they don't even focus on their own religion. They don't even focus on their own religion unless it's inside of the church. As soon as church is done, you don't hear them out there talking about how they made it out of the mountains, and when they was bandaged. You don't hear them constantly reminding themselves about any of that. They got too many other fish to fry. They got too many other fish to fry, so they're not gonna be worrying about that. So the question that I pose to everybody is, why are we so focused on it? I mean, I know the reason, because it's a security blanket. It's a security blanket for yourself. Because as long as you keep that security blanket on, it's like a barrier. It's like a barrier. It's either you're gonna get some compadres in your journey. Some people's gonna latch on because they share the same religion, or it's just you're never gonna get anything done because everybody's just going all different ways. Because at the end of the day, it's the religion that holds precedence over change, over revolution, over us getting these boots off our necks. Why? Can anybody answer? Today. 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 It was today. In a few minutes. If I'm correct, it was 6:30ish p.m. That was the gunshot that will be heard across the world. And it took place. I wish I could have been in Memphis right now. It's a 50-year anniversary. I wish that I could be in Memphis right now with my brothers and sisters. Remembering. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get right. I wanna go right to the spot. You know, I wanna get right to the spot. I wanna stand right where Brother Martin stands. I wanna look around. I wanna smell the air. Pay tribute. Talking 50 years, people. 50 years. Are we all right? How do you feel about yourself? How you feel about yourself? For 50 years, right now, for 50 years, we let this man, we just let him go. We just let him die. We didn't carry the torch. We didn't pick the torch up. The torch laid where Martin Luther King Jr. laid. You know why? You know why I say that? Because if you go ahead and Google right now the state of the sanitation workers in Memphis, Tennessee, right now in 2018, it's the same as it was in 1968. The enemy won. The enemy succeeded. Everything that was going on in 1968 and the years before 1968 is going on right now, today, 50 years later. A decade later, people. A whole half a decade. Still going on right now. How do you feel about yourself? If you felt anything like I feel, you'll be feeling real ashamed. Really ashamed. Especially the people that walked with greats and talked with greats and sat with greats and ate with greats. You should be ashamed, because there's no way possible that our brothers and sisters in the sanitation department of Memphis, Tennessee are being subject to the same conditions, the same harsh, unsafe, unhealthy conditions that they faced 50 years ago, that our brother Martin Luther King lost his life for 50 years ago. There's no way. There's no way.
I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there, anybody, please, you are not alone.
And that's facts. But, of course, it's only if you knew better that you would do better. But the midday mix-up is noon, Monday through Friday. Shouting out. It's a long day, a long day. First shifters, second shifters, third shifters. My first shifters, I hope y'all made it home. And y'all not still at work. Everything is safe. Y'all made it home safe. Second shift is same to you. Third shift is y'all getting ready to get up in there in a few more hours. I got some running around to do. Like always. Like I said, I'm gonna keep everybody posted. I gotta go get me a printer, scanner, that paperwork. That paperwork. It's funny because when I was working at my last job, the one that I'm going through these legal actions with right now, I had everything. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, when I say the move that they pulled on me hit me hard, like no, you would never know. But after they did me dirty, I said, you know what? I went and I took everything back. But it wasn't like I needed I needed a fax machine and all this other stuff. So, but now I'm only going to give me a printer and a scanner because I'm working on a community association and I'm gonna have all the templates ready. So, you know, if you contact me, you say, look, I'm trying to do the same thing in my neighborhood. I got together with a couple of my girlfriends. We decided we're not going to the club this week. We're gonna go and rent a conference room or something to that nature in one of these hotels, and we just gonna go in. And what we need, you know what I'm saying, we just need a little guidance. Not just be able to send a community or organization packet. You know, listen, they be able to get a whole packet. They get it, open it up, they have a whole blueprint on what they go. Why? Because I did it. Ain't like it hasn't been done. It's been tried and tested. And I can't wait. And I can't wait. It's going to be a bright future for the revolution. And I encourage everybody to follow suit. You don't want to get left behind. You don't want to get left behind. Who wants to get left behind when it's time to go? Because you just decided to just sit around and listen and run your yappers and never put your boots on the ground in a in a fashion and in the you know the end result of putting your boots on the ground is to hopefully get the boot off of your neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand, you got a boot on your neck. We not talking about the knee in the back, the famous moves that the police pull on you. We talk about like just a boot. People gonna be mad. Your own people gonna be mad because they gonna say, what happened? What happened? Don't say you didn't know. That's just like when somebody breaks the law and they try to say, well, I didn't know that was the law. Ignorance of the law is it doesn't matter. Just because you wasn't ignorant, just because you wasn't aware, that doesn't mean that we're gonna throw this charge out. You understand? So if you sit in here and you listening to different platforms, and some are good, some are not, whatever the case may be, but you just floating. It's like that song, float on. You just floating. Wherever the current takes you, that's this way you going. You don't know how to sail. You don't even know the science behind a sail. You just on a raft, and you just wherever the current goes, that's where you have to go. You are a slave to the current, and it is some rough seas. These seas are rough. These are not no calm seas. These waves are reaching like it's rough, stormy. The seas are real stormy right now. You don't know what's behind that next wave. You don't know if it's the supervisor at the job telling you that your assignment ended. You don't know if it's the police trying to spin you and tell you to do something that they know can be looked at as a threatening move, and then they put the gun on you. I mean, you got the judges. We got the judges handing out sentences on our brothers and sisters that they do not hand out on their brothers and sisters. Where you want to go? The public pretenders? Where you want to go at? Want to go at the big businesses, shutting all of the small businesses down in our communities? These big super gas stations, convenience stores, BJ's, Sam's, Walmart, all these big chains. Where you want to go? You see how the chickens came home to roost on Toys R Us, because if you think about it, Toys R Us was the first one to even incorporate that kind of style. If you think about it, what was the first person who incorporated the big business kind of like big chain store? We're not talking about Sears, J.C. Penney's, any of that. Toys R Us set that precedent. Now look where Toys R Us at now. If you knew better, you do better. Now Jeffrey got packed up. Jeffrey, all the other giraffes, they all got packed up. You gotta say bye to them. So I'm about to go there right now, and I'm gonna go see what kind of deals they got. You think I ain't gonna go over there and style? I told you, I'm trying to get this toy for the little ones. I encourage y'all to go get it yourself to learn, teach the kids how to write code. Can't remember the name. If you go back in one of my shows, I talked about it. Shit, that's what I'm gonna do. Might get some toys still while I'm out there for the kids, but try to take advantage. Before they were shutting down, I would spend money at Toys R Us. So why not go and take advantage of the sales, the deep discounts? Yeah, we gotta get in there. Once again, people, Z Black Card. Let me let you hear it. This is what we talking about. When you at Red Lobster, you at TGI Fridays, and they say, let me get the check. And you say, oh, you want to take care of this check? And you just, you know what I'm saying? You hit the, you just throw that on the table. Go ahead, take care of that. You gonna turn heads. Everybody gonna be turning around. What's going on? You ain't struck gold over there? That's a Z Black card. Number one, black operated debit card, prepaid, that you need. Why? Because it allows you to make money. It's an investment opportunity. It's an opportunity for extra financial income in your household. Just imagine, you got one, your significant other has one. Talk to your grandmother, talk to your mom, talk to your father. Right there, you got your 5 people right there. You straight. You straight. You gotta tell them, listen, ma, that NetSpend card you got, they killing you with fees. They killing you with fees. Plus, they owned by the enemy. Listen, get yourself a Z Black card. Go to zblackcard.com. You know, stroll through, surf the website, do your own research, read the fine print. And when you make the decision, when they ask you who invited you, they're going to ask you for your invitation code. It's right there on the screen. You sign up using promo code capital M, capital L, the number 7, capital U, and you off. Behind the Wall campaign. Don't forget, get the address out of the description and send it to your loved ones in prison, male or female, local, state, federal level. We have to, I'm trying to touch bases with all the prisons in the United States. Establish communications, offer assistance, create a database. This is phase 1, people. You've been hanging out with the KOC. It's live at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Factz Media Global. I'll holler at y'all later for the daily wrap up. The daily wrap up is where we go over all of today's shows, recap, plus more. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, also hit the notifications. Because like I said, it's times when I go live, they don't post. I take them down right after, so it's exclusive. Also coming soon, don't forget 6-Minute Dougie. I'm opening up the phone lines for the 6-Minute Dougie. So you'll be able to call in. You can teach me how to Dougie. Got 6 minutes. Let me get out of here. I'll talk to everybody later. Once again, thanks for coming through and hanging out. It's been live at 5. The KLC out. 1.